a massive lion's daring escape from the zoo, and the unexpected encounter that stunned everyone. The enormous feline remained still on Highway 27, merely 50 paces from the Riverside City Zoo entrance. Sunlight caught his golden mane as 17-year-old Emma Rodriguez carefully exited her broken-down Honda Civic. This 400-pound African male had somehow gotten out during morning feeding. Now, he faced a teenager whose vehicle had failed at the absolute worst moment. Emma was driving home from her animal shelter job when her engine died right in front of the main zoo gates. As a future vet and lifelong animal enthusiast, she instantly recognized the magnificent beast blocking her way. This wasn't just any creature that had gotten loose. This was Alan, Riverside Zoo's most treasured resident, whom Emma had visited numerous times growing up. "Take it easy, Alan," Emma murmured, her voice surprisingly steady despite her pounding heart. "I know who you are, big boy." The lion's amber gaze fixed on her with an intensity that should have been frightening. But Emma sensed something else: familiarity. Alan had been born at Riverside Zoo 12 years prior, and Emma's deceased mother, Dr. Sarah Rodriguez, was the veterinarian who had delivered him. Emma had grown up visiting Alan, often joining her mother for routine checkups and medical procedures. Zoo alarms blared in the distance, and Emma heard the sirens of emergency vehicles approaching. Yet, in this instant, it was just her and the lion, a part of her existence since childhood. Alan took a slow step forward, his huge paws silent on the asphalt. Emma recalled the numerous times she'd watched him safely within his habitat. "You remember me, don't you?" Emma spoke softly, slowly extending her hand toward the majestic carnivore. "You recall my mom? She used to bring me to see you when you were just a baby lion." The zoo's lead veterinarian, Dr. Michael Stevens, arrived precisely as Emma touched Alan. Through his binoculars, he watched in astonishment as the escaped lion gently sniffed Emma's outstretched hand, exhibiting none of the aggressive conduct typical of stressed or disoriented captive animals in unfamiliar places. "This is unbelievable. Doctor," Stevens radioed to the emergency team. "The lion is showing calm, friendly behavior toward a civilian. He's not displaying any signs of distress or aggression." Emma's bond with Alan ran deeper than anyone knew. Throughout her early life, she had spent hundreds of hours at the zoo, frequently assisting her mother with regular veterinary care. Alan had matured, seeing Emma as a familiar, dependable presence. Even after her mother's passing from cancer 2 years before, Emma continued visiting him regularly. "Mom would be so proud," Emma whispered to Alan, her eyes welling with tears as she softly stroked the lion's enormous head. "You grew up to be such a truly magnificent and calm animal." Response teams had secured a perimeter, but Dr. Stevens made the unprecedented choice to let the interaction proceed. "She's not in danger," he explained to the police captain. "This lion has known this girl since he was a cub. Their connection goes beyond typical human-animal relationships." What unfolded next was captured by dozens of cameras and cell phones, creating footage seen by millions globally, fundamentally altering how experts perceived the emotional range and memory of captive felines. As Emma kept gently stroking Alan's mane, the lion performed an act that left the assembled emergency personnel speechless. He slowly lowered his vast body to the ground and rolled onto his side, exposing his belly in the ultimate display of trust and submission that lions reserve only for their closest kin. "He's showing submission, Doctor," Stevens documented via radio, his voice filled with wonder. "In 12 years, working with Alan, I've never witnessed this level of trust with any person. This indicates a profound emotional link far beyond ordinary animal keeper bonds." Emma knelt beside the massive creature, remembering how her mother had taught her to check for injuries or discomfort in big cats. As her hands moved along Alan's sides, checking his breathing and searching for any obvious issues, the lion began making soft rumbling sounds deep within his chest. Not the warning growls of an agitated hunter, but the satisfied purring sounds indicating total relaxation. "You're not hurt, are you, pal?" Emma asked, her veterinary training taking over despite the extraordinary situation. "You just wanted a stroll, didn't you?" The crowd of observers had grown, now including zoo staff, police officers, EMTs, and many curious onlookers, all keeping a respectful distance while recording this unparalleled interaction. Among them was Dr. Patricia Williams, an animal behaviorist from the University of California, who had been visiting the zoo to study primate social structures. "What I'm seeing defies conventional understanding of lion psychology," Dr. Williams later explained to news crews. "All lions possess excellent long-term memory, but this degree of recognition and emotional attachment to a human suggests cognitive abilities we're only starting to grasp." As Emma continued her delicate examination, Alan's actions became even more remarkable. He began nuzzling her hands with his enormous head, the very same affectionate gesture he'd displayed as a cub when Emma's mother performed his medical checkups. The lion appeared to be actively seeking comfort and connection from someone he recalled as part of his wider family. "This is exactly how he used to behave with my mom," Emma told Dr. Stevens when he cautiously approached the pair. "He remembers the routine. He's letting me examine him just like he did when he was small." The zoo's emergency guidelines mandated immediate tranquilization for any escaped predator. However, Dr. Stevens made the unprecedented decision to delay intervention. "The animal is calm, healthy, and shows no aggressive tendencies," he radioed to zoo administration. "The civilian appears to have established complete control of the situation through natural behavioral communication." News teams had arrived, and live coverage of Emma's interaction with Alan was broadcast nationwide. Social media exploded with videos and pictures of the teenage girl sitting calmly beside a fully grown African lion on a public road, both appearing utterly comfortable with each other. "Oh, Mom, if you can see this, I hope you know everything you taught me about respecting and understanding animals is working," Emma whispered to Alan, her voice carrying across the hushed crowd. "Your big boy here remembers all the affection you gave him." Dr. Stevens noted that Alan's attention remained entirely on Emma, even with dozens of strangers around them. The lion showed no interest in exploring or trying to escape. He seemed content to stay near the one person who represented safety and familiarity in an overwhelming circumstance. "Do we need to guide them both back to the zoo?" Dr. Stevens asked his team. "I think Emma might be our best asset for ensuring a peaceful outcome. Alan trusts her completely." The moment that truly left everyone speechless came when Emma slowly stood and began walking toward the zoo entrance. Without any prompting or direction, Alan immediately rose and began following her, staying precisely at her left side like a well-trained companion dog. The huge predator displayed no interest in running off or exploring. He simply wished to remain close to the individual who best symbolized home and security. "He's walking with her," Dr. Stevens narrated for the news teams, his voice filled with awe. "A 400-pound African lion is voluntarily returning to his enclosure because he trusts this young woman entirely." As they neared the zoo gates, something even more extraordinary occurred. Alan paused his walk and gently took Emma's hand in his mouth, not biting, but holding it with the precise delicacy lions use to carry their offspring. He then led her directly to his habitat, guiding her along the familiar paths they had walked together countless times during her childhood visits with her mother. The video of this instant, a teenage girl gently led by a lion holding her hand in his mouth, became one of the most viewed animal clips in internet history. Wildlife experts globally struggled to explain the level of cognitive reasoning and emotional intelligence Alan exhibited. "This represents a significant shift in our understanding of captive lion psychology," Dr. Williams stated. "Alan demonstrated memory, emotional attachment, problem-solving, and protective instincts that indicate these animals possess far more intricate inner lives than we previously acknowledged." When they reached Alan's enclosure, the lion performed an act that brought tears to Emma's eyes and left the gathered crowd in silent amazement. He walked to a specific spot near the viewing area, where a small plaque honored Dr. Sarah Rodriguez's contributions to the zoo's veterinary program. Alan sat down directly in front of the plaque and looked up at Emma, as if recognizing the memory of the woman who had cared for him since birth. "Oh, he remembers her," Emma whispered, kneeling beside the plaque that read, "Dr. Sarah Rodriguez, devoted veterinarian and friend to all creatures. He knows this is where we come to remember. Mom." Alan gently nuzzled Emma's face, then walked into his habitat and lay down in his favorite sunny spot, completely calm and content. He had achieved what he intended, reconnecting with the family that had raised him and paying respects to the woman who had saved his life as a newborn cub. Zoo administration immediately implemented new guidelines based on the day's events, recognizing that Alan's escape had revealed vital insights about animal emotional needs and the importance of maintaining bonds with trusted caregivers. Emma was offered a permanent volunteer position, allowing her to continue her connection with Alan while pursuing her veterinary studies. Today proved that love and trust bridge species boundaries, Emma told reporters as she prepared to leave the zoo. Alan isn't just an animal in captivity. He's a family member who needed to reconnect with his human family. Animals recall kindness, and they never forget the people who love them. Dr. Stevens established the Sarah Rodriguez Memorial Fund for Animal-Human Bond Research, utilizing the unprecedented footage of Emma and Alan's interaction to study emotional connections between captive animals and their human caregivers. The program became a global model for zoos, emphasizing the importance of long-term relationships between animals and the families who look after them. 6 months later, Emma graduated as valedictorian of her veterinary program and was hired as the Riverside Zoo's youngest-ever staff veterinarian. Her first official duty was conducting Alan's annual health examination, a routine they had both been preparing for their entire lives, carrying forward the legacy of love and trust her mother had established years earlier.